I just didn't quit. That's the only distinguishing quality from me and probably whoever else going through this or went through this or is gonna go through this, is that I ain't quit. I went through every emotion. I went through every emotion with trying to pursue what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And I think that what's gonna separate whoever's gonna try to go for something is that you ain't gonna quit.
On this episode, we're going to talk about some advice for a person that's just getting out of jail, just getting out of prison. When I look back, I've got 4.5 years underneath my belt now of being out. One thing about just getting out of prison is that the world has changed since you left. You know, your family members have grown, they've got older, the world has changed, buildings have been built, technology's changed, the world has changed as you know it. So for you, you've got to adapt to all this stuff, and getting out of prison and getting back into what you would call the real world. In the real world, the speed of life is fast as ever. So you have to adapt to that. In prison, time is slow. You're on a routine every day. You know what to expect in prison. In real life, out here in this world, you don't know what to expect. Every day has something new to it. There's a curveball everywhere and something right around the corner everywhere. Take stuff day by day and just, learn this stuff. Like with the phone, just play with it. Whatever it is, iPhone, Samsung, Droid, play with it. Swipe up, press all the buttons. It's crazy what you can do with that phone right there. The phone is powerful. As you take a job and get a regular 9 to 5, because that's what you got to get when you first get out. You have no other options. You got to take that day by day, and even though you got a job, you got to keep looking for one, or you got to keep looking for areas of opportunity where you can actually grow. Because what you'll find with a lot of jobs is that you hit the ceiling real quick. That you can only go so far. And out here in this world, man, I want to just tell you that anything is possible. You can dream big. You don't have to limit your thinking or limit your visions, or think that your opportunities are limited to just one doorway, because that doorway is the one that opened at one time. Life is about seasons. So, just as in the real world, you got winter, spring, summer, and fall. You have the same things in your life. So, long as you're waking up every day and you're putting those seeds out there and you're tilling your land, you're gonna have a harvest at some point. You just gotta be ready to get the harvest. So, preparation is everything. And I would hope, if you're watching this now while you're out, you prepared before you got out. You can't just get out of prison and think that everything's just gonna change, or you're gonna do it then. I hear that all the time. I'm just gonna do it when I get out. Nah, you gotta get it while you're in there. If you ain't strict on yourself, if you ain't got your day lined out, and you ain't hard on yourself to a degree, to the point that that optimal results are gonna come from wherever you place yourself in, then you're at the drawing board. So today is a good day to start, though, right? Any day is a good day to start. So if you're watching this, I commend you on the journey of even taking the first couple steps, or all the steps that you've taken so far to get on this path. Because I know the path to growth and self-transition is a lonely road sometimes, because people that you knew, family members and things of that nature, they don't know you as that way. And for me, I went in when I was 20 years old and got out in what would be called a man's peak years. Getting out in my 30s didn't make life any easier. If you don't know already, is always watch the company that you keep. What I found getting out is that people that I knew from the inside aren't the same people on the outside. And it's unfortunate, because it's just process of life. No harm nor foul. But when you get out to the real world, you got all kind of new pressures. Some people are able to stay sober in prison because there's no real flood of any kind of weed or any kind of liquor. Even though in some facilities that stuff is readily available, but a lot of people can they can put on that face of sobriety, and then they get out here and that's all they do is drink. Because at the end of the day, smoking weed, drinking, whatever it may be, it's to escape something. Give us that feeling, right? That feeling that we're looking for. If you're aspiring to get somewhere, you're working every day and you grinding, everybody's agenda ain't that. Some people think getting out of prison is it's time to celebrate. They had no milestones, no nothing. They think it's time to celebrate. You've just got out. You're fresh. You're like a baby right now. So your first couple years are just like a toddler's first couple years. You got to get up a little bit. You may need to fall down a little bit. You get a few years, months under your belt. You know, you're standing up tall and you're walking. The next thing you know, you're jogging and then you're running. And that's the same to be said about just getting out of prison. It's like riding a bike. You know, sometimes you got to get back on it. You got to feel it. You know, it kind of wobbles a little bit. But if you know yourself and you can be transparent with the world, you got nothing to hide from. You got nothing to duck. You know what I mean? And you know, things do happen, and that's just the karmatic laws of life. Imagine a life that you could walk in and wake up to every day, that you didn't have fear, where fear was nowhere in the picture. I want you to really think for a second. Think to yourself about what fears you have in your life on all different kind of levels that hold you back from getting to where you need to be. Now, those can be a limitation, such as, you know, you don't want your coworkers or you don't want your friends to laugh at you, or you don't, you know, your idea is so big and there's so many components to it that people would laugh at you if you told them, you know, you can't, yeah, since when can you do something, you know, stuff like that. You gotta take that stuff into consideration. Those are fears. So imagine a life that you didn't have those fears. Imagine a life where you walk through life fearless, or you aspire for a life like that and live accordingly to the rules and the principles that allow you to do that. Man, you'd be amazed at the quality of life. And that's, at the end of the day, I would think everyone's striving for, is to improve the quality of their life. You know, I know getting out of prison and not having nothing, and, you know, depending on other people, I know the feeling, and I know the uncertainty of being in prison and not knowing what's around the corner. You know what I mean? You can be in prison. There's so much uncertainty about the future because you have no idea. You have no idea what it holds. You having the want, the desire, and the need to work, but, you know, once again, having so many doors already closed in my face just off the pretenses. So, you know, thank God for online marketing, and thank God for online possibilities, because at the end of the day, you know, you can carve your way. You know, what I'm doing right now with this video that you're watching, I'm creating content, and in this content right here, it's serving how many people? How many people watch this video right here, do you guys think, and actually get some knowledge and some use from it and grow from it at the same time? I mean, talk about a win-win right here. When you're in prison, you have stand-up counts. So 2 or 3 designated times, everybody in the facility will have to stand up, and the correctional officer will walk by and account for everybody, person by person. So I used to tell myself that all that laying down within that hour frame and all other time I laid down on my bunk over them 11 and a half years, you know, I've done enough laying around for a lifetime. There's no reason why getting out here, I'm still laying around or I'm trying to relax. You know, that's why I put my pedal to the floor. When I first got out, I had 3 jobs. I worked 9 to 5 in the construction business. I had a business that I was bouncing for, and then I had a cleaning business that I worked for over the weekends. And you know what I did is I took all that and I grinded and I took care of all my foundation. Then, you know, I started looking for business opportunities. I started looking at franchising or different things. And I had previously read the book, The 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss, while I was in prison. And, you know, lining that up with finally getting the laptop and, you know, getting a little more in-depth training on drop shipping, you know, my world changed, and it's been on ever since. And you know, we're going strong over here, and we plan to go even stronger going into the future right here. So, you know, sky's the limit when you talk about this stuff right here. And you know, the great thing is it's a skill that you could take anywhere. It's a job you could do anywhere. You could be anybody, you know, to a degree. I mean, the opportunities are endless. I look back and it's almost like those years almost didn't happen, because the life that I've been living now for the 4.5 years has been so fast. So, you know, take into consideration that, you know, life is moving and you got to be an active participant. You know, every day that you wake up is a blessing. Every day you wake up that you're not in there, or you're not in underground, or you're in a hospital, you're blessed. So you got to get up and you got to work with what God gave you. And he gave you freedom. He gave you good health. He gave you these opportunities with the internet, with the online marketing. These are things right here that, once again, there's no reason for you to fail, you know. And I get it, you know, life happens, right? And there's all kinds of stuff that I may not be taking into consideration, but, you know, for you got to take that in consideration. There's many times that I've got to get laser-like focused and, you know, ignore the white noise of the world that goes on around me to a degree. And you may think that your best days are behind you, but hey, your best days are before you. So every day, just be thankful. Wake up in the aura of appreciation. Take 5-10 minutes out your morning just to be thankful for all the small things. Me, 11 and a half years, I didn't get a chance to look in the real mirror. So, you know, if you've been incarcerated, you're appreciative for looking in a mirror. You can definitely see yourself as you really are. You know, there's things like being able to listen to the music you want to listen to when you want to listen to it. You know, of course, being with your family first and foremost, and having the opportunity for me being able just to go outside and see the moon. You know, there was a lot of times that, hey, I was at facilities and you didn't get no yard time at night. So, you know, you're looking through a window, through this little small window in your cell, and I mean, like, you know, a lot of times you never even get to experience the night air, really, you know, and that's the thing that you trade off when you make bad decisions in your life. For somebody just getting out of prison, I would tell them keep working hard, continue to use your job as a stepping stone, and look at life, especially being out here, as a ladder where everything is just essential as the other. So each step on the ladder is just essential as the one before it to get you where you need to go. So at the end of the day, I would tell them stay encouraged, and you know, once again, if I can do it, you can do it, and you could probably even do it better than me. I would tell them stay encouraged, keep good company, stay driven, move with purpose with everything that you do. And you know, at the end of the day, remember, you laid around for a long time. There was a lot of time when you just had dead time, and you know, that time right there was for you to relax. That time's past. It's time to get to it now. So stay hungry, stay humble, and I'm gonna holler at y'all on the next one.
If you like this video right here, please show some love and hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe and notification button to stay updated for the latest videos. New videos will be dropping Thursday, 9 p.m. Mountain Time, so please stay tuned.